back. We're here with CEO Money, Gary Leland, Tony Sakala, the Crypto Cousins, and our guest today, Felipe Huicochea.
Great.
Hey,
Welcome
good
to the
job.
show.
Hey, welcome to the show, Felipe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Felipe is going to also join us, just make sure you know, at BitBlock Boom in July, bitblockboom.com. And while during the break here, we had a great conversation going
Yes, we did.
that I want to continue on, if that's okay.
Sure.
About Venezuela and the dollar there, or the bolivar, with the inflation rate of, 18,000% a year,
Yeah.
and what people were doing and turning their money into Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're turning money into any durable goods. Basically, if you have bolívares, you lost 20%.
So anything's better than having a bolivar.
Yeah. Whenever you get money, you trade that for mostly durable goods, but still food, whatever is gonna be more valuable than the currency. In fact, I'm gonna give you a teaser. I have in my talk, which I'm gonna give in the BitBomb event. I have a picture of people are braiding bills to make purses and to make stuff
Out of money.
bills.
Out
Yeah,
of the money.
it's out of
The purse they make will have more value than
exactly.
the money does.
That's how just useless the currency has become. So they are trading Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies for whatever they can get their hands on, because there's also shortage of pretty much everything.
Well, you told me a minute ago that you have a YouTube channel and stuff where you have thing on there. People leave comments and bring you information. What's that? Where people can find that?
It's CriptoMonedas TV on YouTube, on Twitter. Basically, is where we are the most
And you were
active.
telling me a story about a guy who got his paycheck.
one of my subscribers, one of the regular viewers, sent me a picture of a check today. He got laid off from the company where he has been working for 28 years in Venezuela. It's a check for 5.8 million bolívares.
5.8 million.
Yeah, which is enough to buy roughly 4 pounds of meat today at today prices.
So tomorrow that might be 3 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how high
and that's if you can get your hands on meat, which is also really scarce. And
I
it's,
don't think a lot of people understand this, because when they look at the price of Bitcoin and they see the price of Bitcoin going down here, for instance, like this weekend, we had a terrible weekend and Bitcoin dropped a pretty good bit.
Yeah.
But in a marketplace like that, like in Venezuela, what happened to Bitcoin this weekend?
well, the price barely moved.
Right.
I mean,
so
it
it's
was
compared to the currency.
like down 2%, and it also varies from country to country. Countries where we're seeing a lot of economic anxiety, Argentina. Just 3 weeks ago, they increased the base interest rate to 40%. So
40%?
people are getting like really, really nervous. You see that reflection of economic anxiety with very narrow movements on the price. I mean, Venezuela, the price moved like 2% over the weekend, when in most cryptocurrencies, not only Bitcoin, but in some cases, we see losses in the double digits.
So when we see these big losses and movements, Tony, that's just compared with the dollar that we're seeing. And it may be some other dollars too, but there's a lot of places in the world where they're not seeing that drop at all.
I think the important factor here is, the listener who may not be in crypto didn't realize we had a bad weekend. Crypto dropped a bit, but they're thinking to themselves, this is the USA. Nothing can happen bad here. We've been programmed for brainwashed to think that everything here is rosy and good. And so they think this won't happen here. But really, tell us, this has been spreading throughout Latin America, spreading throughout many, many countries. Tell us why they should be aware of what's happening.
Unlike most less stable economies, the U.S. it's happening. It's just slower. It's a very slow process, and we've seen prices, purchasing power going down, steadily declining over the decades. We see. If just to bring back a little bit of history, in the early 20th century, the exchange rate between the Mexican peso and the dollar was 1-to-1, right? And the reason is because it was silver. There were silver coins, so nobody really cared whose face is on the coin. As long as it's silver, I'll take it. So it was
Sure.
1-to-1.
Makes sense.
Now, the exchange rate for a silver ounce in dollars is roughly $17, right? So that's your loss. So it's been happening.
I
It's
see what
just
you're
been happening much slower, at a slower rate than others. But the model of fiat-based just paper money is doomed to fail over a long term. In some cases, we see that political pressure makes banks print money faster, but it's just a matter of speed.
well, we can tell
The direction is the same.
It's a matter of when,
We don't have
not
much
if.
time, but I want you to
Yes.
mention what you told me, another thing you told me a second ago about the 25% in the South American country that the government took out of everybody's bank accounts?
Well, yeah, it happened in Argentina in 2001, if I remember correctly. Overnight, it's called Corralito. Overnight, they took 20% of all deposits, and it's just like not
So
your
it's
money
not really
anymore.
your money. You think it's your money when you put it in the bank. Oh, it's my money. No, it's just you
No.
put some money in there in an account, and now
Well, Tony,
it's there.
didn't they do that not too long ago in Greece? They took 10% out of everybody's
10 or
savings account?
20%, just a haircut. They call it a haircut.
Haircut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in Greece,
haircut.
in
They
Greece
needed some
happened
money,
the
yeah.
same. So it's a problem with the model, how the banking system works.
Before we go, because we're running out of time, I want you to make sure and tell people where to find you. And please, anything else you want to say real quick? We're almost out
Yeah,
of time.
well, I hope see everyone in the event in July. Bitblock.
Bitblockboom.com.
That one, it's going to be an amazing event. I hope everyone can join us there.
Thank you, and we appreciate you coming on the show. You've been listening to CEO Money with guest hosts Gary Leland and Tony Sakala, known as the Crypto Cousins. Join us tomorrow for more in-depth interviews and innovators. And remember, you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and anywhere quality podcasts are found. Thanks for joining us.